Hello and welcome. This is hashtag IAmACreator Live with your host, James Cox, with the hashtag IAmACreator community. Thank you so much for being here today. Earlier on, we had Miss Kathy Hawkins, and Jesse on the live stream. It's a great interview. Today, in a second here, we've got Amy Sorrell. She's over in the UK. Hey, Amy, how you doing? We're going to be talking with her. I greatly appreciate everybody that's here. All Amy's links are down below, included the amended Facebook link that I was told by one of my moderators was incorrect, but I've changed that now. So all our social media links are down below. So please feel free to connect with Amy. So Amy, how are you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad. Not been up to much today. Sort of been out and about in town.
You sound like you have a London accent. Is that where you're from, London?
I'm originally from Basildon, and I now live in the Braintree area.
You're living in what area, sorry?
Braintree.
Aintree?
Braintree.
Braintree, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, your audio is just, I don't know, is like a little bit muffled. It's I'm having a hard time sometimes hearing you, but that's okay. We'll soldier on. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you grow up, where you went to school, what do you do as a job, and then we'll obviously, your family, and then we'll we'll move into talking then about YouTube and anything else that you want to discuss, okay?
Okay. Well, my name's Amy. I come from Basildon, and that's where I grew up. Most of my life went through there. Then went to a secondary school about half an hour away where we moved, and that's when I lived with my family. I grew up in a secondary school called Ormiston Rivers Academy. That wasn't too bad. So I've lived on my own now with my partner, but I moved out a year or two ago. So I live in Witham, which is in Essex.
Don't be nervous. You're all right. You're in good company here. Everything's fine. Just talk as though you and I are just having a conversation. Everything's cool. It's all good.
That's my first time doing, well, not my first time doing a live stream, the first time doing an interview. So I'm not sure quite what to say. And
yeah, just relax. Just tell us, what your hobbies are, what you're interested in. Obviously, you're interested in YouTube.
I play pool for a team up where I live. It's like a semi-professional league, so I do that. I like and enjoy playing snooker as well, so I do that. I also sell candles and stuff under the brand Darcy's. So I do that as like a little mini hobby thing. And I also work at a nursery. So I work with children under the age of 5. Between 2 and 5 years old, and that's really fun and really rewarding. I quite enjoy that one.
Okay. So what brought you to YouTube? What made you think about, having a YouTube channel?
I've been watching a lot of people on YouTube for decades, and I was watching a couple of YouTubers, and I thought, that's a really good idea. I really want to do it. So I went on to a couple of freebie sites and got a load of freebies in, and I just went for it and thought I'll just go for it, film myself unboxing it and reviewing it and see what happened from there. I didn't expect it's not blown up as such, but I sort of didn't expect the support that I've been given so far, and I'm really appreciative of it.
How did you come up with the channel name? It's kind of catchy in a way. 1.5 reviews.
Me and my partner I'm the main face of it, but my partner is doing some bits with it as well. He's been featured in a couple of them at the moment, and I'm only 5 foot and he's almost 6 foot. So 1 would be the 6 foot and half would be my height, which is 5, so 1.5.
That's cool. That's cool. That's funny. So you do like unboxings and things like that. Is that what your channel's mainly about? Like reviewing stuff, unboxing stuff, looking at it?
Yeah, and I also if I unbox things on a Sunday, I then review them on a Wednesday. or review anything on a Wednesday. And Fridays I upload any type of videos I fancy doing that week. If it's a how-to video, or at the moment I've done my makeup routine, I think it's been up. And I'm doing a haul soon for Savers, so that'll be one that's coming up. So Fridays are sort of like a random, any type of video I fancy creating that I quite enjoy.
So do you think then you're kind of like moving into being more of a variety channel where you're going to have a lot of all different stuff on your channel?
Yeah, well, it started off being unboxing, but it seems to be my channel's moving more forward towards that, which I'm more than fine with doing.
Yeah, I see this happening with a lot of people on YouTube because they start with something and they keep doing it and they keep doing it. And there's a saying that I don't know if they hear it over here, but I know it's very popular in England because that's where I'm from. It's called flogging a dead horse.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're flogging a dead horse. I know that BTD is now the phrase has been coined for BTD, a BTD moment, which could be construed as flogging a dead horse. I don't know if you saw Brad's video.
I did, yeah. saw bits of it. I didn't manage to see all of it, but I need to go back and watch it.
Do you ever find yourself getting frustrated, you know, with making videos and then?
I do, a little bit. Sort of like, definitely my longer ones takes me a lot longer, and then they don't get as many views. So I get a bit frustrated, but I sort of get on with it and sort of just keep creating and sort of keep providing consistently, hoping that I get the support and the views and the watch time through just creating over and over again.
Right. And I noticed as well that you've done some live streaming, right? You've done some live streaming. What do you think to live streaming?
It's quite cool. I was quite nervous for my first one. The second one went quite well. So I'm looking at maybe doing them as well on top of what I'm doing. Like maybe on a weekend when I'm not uploading, doing something like that. Because I really enjoyed the interaction and like just the talking and the more relaxed style video than just sitting and looking at the camera and doing my unboxings and less scripted.
Yeah, it is a great way to be able to talk with your audience via the chat, or just like what you and I are doing right now, because you can have up to 10 people. If you set it up, you can have up to 10 people in this, live stream that we're doing right now. You can have up to 10. So it's great for doing that. So you can have conversations and people, come in, and especially like this environment, me interviewing people, giving people a chance to grow their channels. I think this is actually great for this.
I really got when I first got to the community and I saw all your videos. I love the concept of it, because I didn't really think of doing live streams until watching your content and other people's. So it was a good way to connect with like my supporters.
So my next question is, how did you come across hashtag IAmACreator? How did you come across this whole community?
I was on Twitter and Danny Shaw show, he was talking to me on there and he said, "Oh, are you part of the community?" And I said, "What community?" And that's when he was explaining the community, and I love the idea of it. And that's when I joined the live streams and joined the community as a whole.
Yeah, Donnie's a great guy. I'm hoping to get him on here. Keep with him working a lot, and his schedule and things like that. And then obviously having a family, it's kind of hard trying to like make it so it works. But we'll get there. We'll have him up here. We'll have a chat with him and make it happen. Do you have any plans for any future videos that you're going to be releasing soon? Anything that you've got that you want to share with anybody regarding that?
I'm at the moment looking at doing like Poundland versus Savers, that type of video. Going out and reviewing brands of makeup and skincare. I've got that lined up. I'm waiting at the moment for it to turn up. So I'm doing with testing, unboxing, and reviewing of Japanese candy. So like sweets around the world, that type of thing's being planned at the minute. Just wait for all the parcels to turn up and get the right subscription boxes for that. That's coming up soon.
Yeah, there's one of your videos I remember watching, and I think it was a box of beer, and there were crisps, as they call them in England, but chips over here in the United States. And I watched that review, and I think I made a comment about something about what did the beer taste like or something. I don't know if you did. I don't know if you did like a follow-up
I did
video.
comment back afterwards on your comment for it.
You did a what? Sorry.
On your comment on the video, I did comment underneath it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to go.
My partner did that one. He enjoys beer a lot more than I do, so I thought it'd be more fairer to if he did it than me, and he wants to get involved with it as well. So it was a good chance to sort of see his strengths and see what he enjoys and get him involved.
So does he have his own channel then? His own separate channel?
Not at the moment, no. We're sort of having it together at the minute.
Okay,
but we're looking at he's looking at doing tech reviews or like having a tech channel. So we're looking at creating the account for that, and that should be happening in the future. So at the moment, he's on my channel with me.
That's great. That's great. So you and him kind of like work hand in hand. Yeah, I remember coming in on one live stream. I think it was just you on camera, and you were talking to everybody in the chat, and he was in the background talking to you, and you were talking to him. Yeah, I remember that. That was kind of cool. Like you were like interacting with him at the same time, talking to the people in the chat. So let's talk about what equipment do you use to create your videos? Like what camera, what type of laptop you got, what editing software? Is there anything else that you use?
I use my Lenovo laptop, which is like an Intel laptop. I'm not sure what camera it is, but I use the camera on the laptop. Okay. If not, I use my phone, which is an LG. So I use either or. I am looking at getting a better camera so I can get better quality, but at the moment it's fine as it is at the minute. It's just the lighting that's a bit of a problem. Because where I am right now is my desk by my window, and when it's really sunny, it's got absolutely brilliant lighting. But when it's dark, or like it is now, it's dark, or there's bad weather, the lighting isn't great. So to try and enhance that, I was looking at getting lighting, but I haven't quite got that at the minute.
Yeah. Talk to oh man, I can't forget his name. Scott. He was one of the interviews that I did on Friday. I can't remember how to pronounce his last name. Fisher. You might want to contact him. Yeah, Fisher or whatever. I think you were in. I think I saw you in the live stream. Contact him and find out if he can send you like a link for Amazon where to buy those lights, because he said that they were really cheap and his lighting is it's really great. So
I was watching it, I like the blue in the background and the lighting of it. So I was thinking of contacting him and sort of seeing what type of lighting he had, because I couldn't quite remember.
Yeah, he said they were outside garden lights or something. They were really cheap. They were like $30 or something like that, which is about 20 British pounds.
Yeah, 20, 25 pounds, yeah.
Yeah, so they're really cheap. So you might want to contact him and see if you can get the brand off him, see if they sell them on amazon.co.uk. And because I know there's some stuff that they don't sell on Amazon in the UK, but they sell them here in America and vice versa. Because I've recommended some products to people over there, and they said, I'm not finding that particular model. I'm finding another model of the same brand, but I'm not finding that particular model. And I don't know if it's to do with like lures or, whatever it is. There's something, but it kind of looks similar, but you want to make sure that you get the, right thing.
You'll make sure you got the right. So sometimes I've done it before where people have recommended me something and I've got the wrong name and I've managed to get something else that's completely different.
Yeah. But if you reach out to him and ask him if he could send you a link, so you can, obviously you're doing reviews on stuff. So be a great thing for you to review. But yeah, lighting with video and photography is everything. It can make or break a video or a photo. It's the most crucial thing, because the video and the camera relies on the photons. That's why it's called photography. So it's very important to make sure that lighting is good. And
it's more about funding at the minute, because I work full time, but it's part-time hours. So I don't, with all the bills and everything, it's sort of hard to try and get a budget for buying stuff. But at the moment, I'm slowly getting funding up to buying it. So hopefully in the next month or two, I should have lighting. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. You can also find things in the house if you've got like a lamp, you know, like
lamp.
Huh?
I do use my bedroom lamp sometimes. Like
yeah, if you've got a lamp, you can sometimes put like something white behind it, or even use, you know, like it's aluminum in the United States, but it's aluminium in the UK. Yeah. You could put a lot, you know, that type of foil behind, so the light that's being given off that way gets projected that way. So you can use things like that to help do more lighting if anybody's struggling with lighting. You can also, you know, bounce light off things if it's too bright, like this white sheet behind me. You can use things like that if you've got something that's like a direct beam. So, and again, we're using different terminology here. What is a torch in England is a flashlight in the United States. So, you know, you could use a flashlight or torch, whichever way you want to call it, to shoot light at this and then have it bounce back on you to light an area.
Okay, thank you. So I'll have a look at finding something that's going to help the lighting.
Yeah, there's lots of things I'm sure that you've got around your house that you could help right now, but obviously to get that effect like what Scott Fitcher's got, you'd have, you know, those lights are very important. You know, they're a very important thing to have. I think his you know, his whole house lit up like that is great. I know BTD in one of his videos, he showed what his setup used to be like with the 3 monitors, and it was great how that was all lit like that. You know, it is nice to have a great setup, but at the end of the day, you sometimes you don't really need it all. It can be like, you know, problematic. You know, trying to figure out where everything's gonna fit and everything. What is your?
You don't need it all.
Yeah, what is your video, your most viewed video that you know that you've got on your channel? What's it about?
I think at the moment it's my welcome one, but I've looked so far and it's my recent one, which is my unboxing. Got about 50 views on it. So I've just looked now.
And now you find in this community, are you getting people that are coming and talking to you and leaving, you know, genuine comments on your content?
I'm getting some comments which are great video, and then just leaving it at that, or I've seen you on live streams, I'm now a new supporter. And other comments, I've had some nice reviews on my videos where they give me some recommendations of what I could do better. And they're also messaging me on Twitter. That's another thing. They're doing the comments on my YouTube and then getting back to me on my Twitter. So I'm getting a lot of support through that.
The good thing that I can see coming of this is going to be a lot of collaborations. Like you and I right now, we're collaborating because we're having a conversation, you know, about this whole thing. And I see that basically what we're going to see from this whole thing is collaborations. And YouTube likes collaborations. It likes community. It likes people making playlists. It's, you know, it's all about the growth. This is what they tell people. So it's good to be collaborating with one another, you know, especially through live streaming or even getting out in public, meeting other people that are on YouTube and making, you know, and making YouTube videos together. So I don't know if have you got any plans on doing any of that in the future?
I do. I'm in talks with a couple of people who are interested in coming and meeting me in person, as well as doing the online one like me and you. I'm interested in doing them, and I'm sort of in talks with some people to what times to do it and what days. So that's hopefully coming soon. So it is in progress at the minute.
Yeah, it is a good thing, and that's one thing that I really do like about this community, that there's a lot of people that want to do this. So being part of this and doing it, it's definitely going to help you grow. It's definitely going to help people grow. The more of this interaction that goes on, and the more about the the hashtag IAmACreator community that gets mentioned, especially in videos, the more it's going to grow, because more people are going to say, well, like you did, and like Donnie mentioned it to you, are you part of the community? And you started asking questions, and now you're here, and you're kind of like been thrown in at the deep end, because now you're being interviewed, and I know you're still kind of a little bit nervous about it, right?
A little bit. I'm getting a lot better. I'm getting more relaxed. It's still getting used to things, and it's all still new. So I've only been on YouTube for 2 months now, so I've not been on YouTube very long. It's all very new.
So your channel's only 2 months old?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've
And how
had the
many?
channel open since May of last year, but I never started uploading until August.
Okay, so you've only started. Okay, so you only right. Wow. So how many subscribers do you have right now?
Currently I have 305.
Wow.
I went
So
from the community. I went from between 10 and 50 to 305, which is absolutely incredible. And I was so overwhelmed when I saw it grow. It's amazing, the support.
yeah, it'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger eventually. You just got to keep putting out content. Just keep coming in the chats, collaborating, going and watching other people's comments. Sorry, videos, commenting on them, liking them, sharing them, adding them to your playlist, and just work the philosophy, and people's channels grow. It's amazing that what this does for people on YouTube. More and more people, when they do the philosophy the correct way, the channels grow.
So I don't know if they're watching at the moment, but there are people that I've been talking to on Twitter. So I've recommended this community to, because it's so supportive. And definitely, if you use the philosophy and watch info, like, comment, and add to your playlist, it does help you grow. And some people have joined very, very recently and have seen even a small change of support. So I've been telling everybody about it, because it's absolutely brilliant. And definitely, it's no sub for sub, which is great because everybody sort of expects it. Which it's not. That's not what it's about at all. I thought that's everything I tell people. I always tell people that it's not sub for sub. You have to pay it forward to get what you want back.
Yeah, and the people that you pay it forward to necessarily may not come back to you, but others will. So what you're doing is you're creating what's like I call like a chain reaction, because everything that you do on YouTube is an action. A watch is an action, but you don't get to know that somebody's watched your video unless they comment. A like is an action, but you don't get to know who liked your video unless they comment, right? So all these actions create a reaction, especially when you take those actions and put them into words in a comment, letting that person know that something about the video that you saw that you found was good, or constructive criticism, and that you watched the video in full, you liked it, you added it to your playlist, you hit that red support button, you're now supporting them, and just leave it at that. Do not ask for support back. And from that, when people come that find your video, either from in the community or outside the community, and they see that comment, there's a good possibility that they're going to want to come and check you out and leave you a comment about your video, just for the simple fact that nobody leaves comments like that. You're telling that creator everything that they need to know.
Being unique as well, I find, is something that everybody looks for. If you're doing the same as everybody else, they're going to look at you, in my opinion, and go, oh, that's the same as, so I might not look at that one. But if you make your comments unique and give the your opinion of how well they've done, or tell them about what they've done in their video and anything they can do better, and basically give them the feedback, they'll look at that and go, oh, I might check that channel out.
Yeah, it's all about, you know, what is in the comment. And if the content of the comment is your actions, then others, when they see what your actions are, there's a good possibility that those people will come to your channel to check what you're about. And that, you know, is what part of this philosophy is talking about paying it forward. The fact that, well, look at this person. He came and said something about the video, put a like on it. He told them all this. I want to go and see, you know, I want somebody like that watching my videos.
Yeah, you
Right.
want
That's
the
the,
feedback as well.
yeah. Is there anybody in the chat that has a question? Is there anybody in the chat that has a question for our guest, for Amy? Amy Sorrell as the YouTube channel 1.5 reviews. Are there any questions for Amy in the chat? You guys have any questions for her? So do you hope to do YouTube full time?
Yeah, I've been looking to do it full time, although I still want to work with children. I want to make YouTube the full-time career. So I still have some, like, I still got my career and the love of working with children, but at the same time working full-time with YouTube.
Dap Gaming says, what's next for your channel, Amy?
I'm hoping to do like more live streams and do more content, which, like, by going out buying products and reviewing better, not just free products, sort of more up to date, like the Fire Stick. We're looking at doing also Wish. I want to start buying like Wish products which you see on TV and test them out and see if they do work like they do in the adverts, or if they don't, sort of that type of thing. Sort of doing tests and better, sort of getting better at my reviews and getting better products to review. Know what people want to see.
AU Pack Meals says, what has been your hardest part about making videos?
Being in front of the camera. I'm quite camera. Well, I was really camera shy, and it took me a good month or two before I actually got in front of the camera. I had all these ideas, and it was just getting in front of the camera and talking. Because I don't know about anybody else, but you look at talking to yourself. It was getting over that fear of just getting on with it and don't worry about anybody else. Just film and feel comfortable with what you're doing, then just putting it out there for everyone else, as well as being worried about what everyone else thinks of you and what they think of your content. So at the moment, my mum watches my videos as well as all my friends at work. So it's getting their opinions on a real-time basis. You see them on a daily basis and knowing if they like the videos or not. That was one that was hard for me, getting if there's any negative, trying to fight the negative, the positive.
Yeah, it can be a struggle. When you first start making videos, standing in front of the camera, it's a confidence thing. And, you know, it's basically, it's all in your head. So you've got to just think to yourself, look, my first video, just get on with it. You know, that's why you have editing software, because you can edit stuff out and just get on with this, and just whatever happens, happens. You know, you can edit as much of it out, the mistakes that you see. That's what editing software is for. And then just do that. What did I ask you, what editing software do you use?
I think so. And it was let me quickly get out. It was VideoPad video editor. It's a very basic program, which is good for me because I'm technology wise, I'm not that great. So I like a very easy editing software where you can just record on it and just pull the videos out and edit. Quite good. You have to pay. I think you have to pay a certain amount for it. I can't quite remember off the top of my head how much, but it is a good editing software if you're starting out.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people nowadays are using Filmora. That's the quickest one that I use. It's not that expensive either. I think it's like $79 or something like that. But you can use it for free, but it puts a watermark just to get the idea of how it works and everything. And then, you know, you can turn the watermark off by purchasing it. Are there any more questions in the chat for Amy? You guys got any questions? Any questions in the chat? Anybody? Do you have any pets or anything like that? Do you have any like dogs or cats?
I have one dog. I have a Chihuahua. At the moment, he doesn't currently live with me because I live in a first floor flat. So he lives with my mum at the minute with her dog, who's a Chihuahua. He's a very short and dumpy one. He's not quite thin. He's got quite a bit of weight to him. I do hope to get, when I eventually move out into a house, either have him back or get another dog or a cat. I like both cats and dogs. I'm not too fussed with animals.
Any more questions in the chat for Amy? Anybody got any questions? Oh, so Simple Glam says, how do you like hashtag IAmACreator so far?
I quite like it. I've been talking about it all the time when I'm telling people about my YouTube. I tell them about the community and how supportive it is and how loving and caring everybody is. You can just talk to them outside of your like YouTube, and you can talk to them on Twitter or any platform that they're on, and they're always so supportive of you, and they're not afraid to tell you what you need to correct, if you need to correct anything, and to give you advice on what you need, which is what I love. I like having feedback, whether it's negative or positive, having some sort of feedback I can work on. I love people obviously with me all my watch time and everything like that, but it doesn't sort of help me when it comes to progressing in the future, because I don't know what everybody else wants to see, because they might like the video, which is absolutely brilliant, but do they want me to carry on to do them videos, or it's sort of, but no, the community does help really well to help support me with my growth through YouTube. Yeah. And it shows in my videos as I'm getting more confident with it all.
It does definitely help with confidence being, you know, on YouTube, because obviously you're putting yourself out, you're sharing yourself with the world. So AU Pack Mule says, how did Amy get such blue eyes?
These are my natural colour. I don't add anything to them. It's just the way the colours they go. If it's in bright light, they go really, really light blue, which they probably are going now. But now these are my natural eye colours, eye colour. I don't know how it does it. It's quite.
Well, do they come from your father, your mother? Does, you know?
My mum.
Your mum's got
blue eyes, and my dad's got like a grey colour. But me and my brother both have blue eyes. I've got the lightest of both of us.
Hot Mess Elliot says, Amy, what do you do besides YouTube?
I work at a local term time nursery where I help support children sort of with their first stages, because they're only between 2 and 5 years old. So I'm helping them to get that step up to school and help them get the fundamentals and the sort of help to start school, and with communication, helping them to talk, and helping them to read. Well, near the end, near 5, we sort of promote them trying to talk, like trying to read, write, and sort of help support them to get them ready. It's quite rewarding when you see them come in at 2 years old, and then you see them go off to school at 5, or 4.5, 5. It's quite great to see the progression that they have as they're growing up, and they're obviously going off.
Dap Gaming says, what type of camera do you use, Amy? I know you've already answered this. I guess they've not long since come in the chat, but go ahead. You can answer them again.
I'm not sure the exact camera, but it is my camera on my Lenovo laptop that I use. If not, it'd be my LG phone camera.
So she's using the webcam on her Lenovo, and she's using her cell phone, which is an LG camera. Any more questions for Amy in the chat? Where'd you like to? I know that people in England, they like to vacation. Some like to vacation in England, but some like to vacation outside. Some, go on holiday. Where'd you like to go on holiday?
I'd not long come off my holiday. I went last week to Great Yarmouth, where I went to an Elvis week.
You
I
went to
absolutely love Elvis.
an Elvis? Elvis, okay. The king of rock and roll, right?
Then I absolutely love him and that era. So we go there every year. So I've only been going 4 years, whereas my partner's been going since he was born. But we go there for live music, like the fun and the spirit of Elvis. And I actually vlogged that, which is I'm still currently editing and should be out soon. But I vlogged my holiday. So we enjoy going there. It's not too far away from home, but it's far enough to sort of enjoy yourself and feel like you are on holiday.
Well, Michelle says,
to Spain.
You do want to go where, sorry?
To Spain.
To Spain? Yeah, I've been to Spain several times. Mom Michelle says that she's going to Great Yarmouth next year.
All right, so I'm going, although I've just come off my holiday, I'm going again next year for it as well. So I might see her there.
How did you get into Elvis then? Is it because of your partner?
I heard a couple of songs when I was at secondary school. When we was doing singing and music, we sang Hound Dog, and when I went back home and researched, it was that artist. So I sort of had a liking for him then. But it wasn't until I met my partner when his family are heavily into Elvis and that type of music that I sort of got more into him and love his music.
Yeah, it was definitely Elvis was definitely a performer and had some great. He had some great songs. So is it mainly the old classical songs that you like, or do you like up-to-date music as well?
I'm not a huge fan of the new up-to-date music. I like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and noughties. And I'm also a fan of rock and heavy metal as well. So any type of genre, just not the new music currently.
No. Hot Mess Elliot says, Amy, would you ever make a vlog of London?
I could just thought today, I didn't think of doing that, but that's a good idea. I might go down to London. It's only 45 minutes away from where I live, so I can just hop on the train down there and sort of show the sights. That's definitely a thought that I can write down on my chalkboard.
That is a great idea, actually, because there are some interesting places in London that people over here in the United Kingdom, if you basically research them and thought them through first, and did a little bit of history on them, would love to probably know in a vlog, like certain things like the Tower of London. A lot of people seem to think that Big Ben, is that big tall building with the clock on it, when realistically it's not. It's the bell that's inside in the clock tower. The Houses of Parliament, that big Ferris wheel, what's it called?
The London Eye.
The London Eye, yeah. So I think these would be very, very interesting vlogs for you to record. And did I mention Speaker's Corner?
No, but I'll research into that. And so it's definitely a brilliant idea to do. So we'll go down there. At some point, I think in August, I'll be going down to London. August next year, I'll be going to London for an Elvis cruise, where we go down and go around the Thames. So I might have to vlog that for everyone as well. So that was really, really fun to do this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of, London's a very, it's a very big city, and there's a lot of people that live there, but there's a lot of interesting things there to see. And, there's a lot of stuff that I've been to London many a time, but there's a lot of stuff that I didn't get to see that I really wanted to, see. And it's interesting when people do make videos about places and they tell you, stuff about it, and you can, not only the person's telling you about it, but you can get to see the visualization, because now it's in video about them talking about it.
Yeah, you can narrate your journey through London and the different sites. It is very historical, and there's lots of facts and loads of bits about it that's quite interesting.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite TV shows?
At the moment, it's 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown. I love Jimmy Carr. He's one of my favourite comedians, as well as Russell Howard and Michael McIntyre. They're my favourite comedians. So I like 8 out of 10 Cats because it sort of features like the panel show, and it's not like, well, it is like the normal Countdown, but it's got more jokes, and they sort of make it more comedy than about the maths and the English. And Friends, I've just finished watching.
Favorite movies? Do you have any favorite movies?
I don't really watch movies that much, but I'm really obsessed with Rocky Horror Picture Show. I like that one. And that's the only one I can think off the top of my head. I like Mamma Mia. I recently watched Mamma Mia too.
Because you're on the whole genre of like Elvis, what about Grease?
Yeah, I love Grease. I've watched that many times.
That's kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
If there's anything that you could go back in time and change, what would it be?
Probably starting YouTube a little bit earlier and having the confidence to do it. Probably stick to my studies, because I loved school, but I was never really into the studying part of it. So I wish I'd have gone back and taken my exams a little bit more serious. And I did.
Is there any questions in the chat? Any more questions in the chat for Amy? Put at James Cox and put your question. Anybody got any questions for Amy in the chat? And all of her social media links are down in the About section. So I have a question for you. I noticed that you've got a Tumblr account, right? What?
Yeah.
Maybe, how long have you been using Tumblr?
2 weeks. I've not long opened it up. So at the moment, it's mainly got my recent videos that I've sort of shared through up when I've uploaded. I've got it up and running, but it's not got a lot of content on it at the moment. I've not quite got the hang of it yet. I've only had it for about 2 weeks.
So you're just still figuring it out?
Yeah.
Well, let us know when you figured it out. It'd be interesting to see maybe a video on that, because like I have a Tumblr account and I have used it, and I don't really know if I'm getting any views back from it. I mean, I think it's important that we use, you know, as much social media as possible, so that we can let people know not just about ourselves, but about this community, so it piques people's interest, so then they ask questions or they come and they participate in this, so that they then can help us grow this community even bigger. So that's the whole thing.
Not everyone's on the same social media. Some people might not be on Twitter, some people might not be on Facebook, so you're sort of appealing to a wider audience.
Right. Are you in the Facebook group, the hashtag IAmACreator Facebook group?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you joined the website too?
Yeah, I did that. I think it was the day you broadcasted it. I sort of went on there and joined.
Yeah, I think the IAmACreatorCommunity.com website is going to be a great place for people to come together to organize things, because it's more of a central point, and the groups in there, you know, some people are only interested in certain things, and that's fine. I think it's going to be a great place for people to interact. I think we're going to be able to communicate a lot better, especially with YouTube not sending out notifications. So
I've noticed that with some of my videos where I've uploaded it and not many people have noticed I've uploaded. I normally have to, when I upload, comment, like private message people that I've uploaded to let them know, and sort of do more promoting myself rather than relying on YouTube. That's why I think the website is absolutely brilliant, because you can go on there at any time. You can interact with people. When you put a video up, it'll be instant notification. think it's actually a brilliant idea that can grow, and I can see doing really, really well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be, it's going to turn this massive. I want this to be massive. I want as many people involved in this as possible. This is a game changer. This community is a game changer, not just for YouTube, but for any other social media platform and for life. And that's what I'm hoping to achieve here. I think that if we can get enough people to realize what this is truly all about, that in doing so, there's going to be a lot of growth for a lot of people. You know, everybody that participates and does their thing, there's going to be a lot of growth here with this.
And definitely people work together and keep doing the support that they're doing. It's going to keep growing and growing, and so are they.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite colors or favorite numbers?
My favorite color is blue. I've always liked the color blue, and like light blue, sky blue, any type of blue. I'm not sure if I've got a favorite number. I like the number like 6, but 72. My stepdad used to play ice hockey, and his number was 72. So I sort of relate to that.
Mm-hmm. Do you drive a car?
No, not at the moment, but I am looking at starting to drive at the end of this year. So I can start driving in January.
Right. So you don't have a driver's license yet?
I have a provisional, which allows me to sort of drive with experienced drivers, but I've not quite got my actual license yet.
Right. Yeah, I want to, if we can, have a conversation about this. So when I grew up in England, right, it was more or less pretty easy it wasn't easy to pass your test, but it was easy to actually get a test, right? So I went with a company, I don't know if this is still around, they're called BSM, British School of Motoring, and it was a huge company. It was all over the United Kingdom, and you got in a car and you went out driving, and then the instructor dropped you off. And then when he thought or she thought that you were ready, they would like fill out the form and you just had to sign it and they'd put it in for you. And then they'd let you know when and you get notified as well at home, but they'd let you know that your test is up, and then you'd have a lesson prior, or I did anyway. And then you go and take your test. And there was no written test. You basically got in the car with the instructor. You went and did various things, like drove down the road. It lasted anywhere between 30 minutes to 45 minutes. You drove down the road. First thing that you did was he slammed his clipboard on the dashboard. You had to do an emergency stop. You had to do a 3-point turn, all these things. And then he asked you a few questions about the highway code, about road signs, and there might be like 10 questions and you had to get them right. And of course he watched you to make sure that you were using your mirrors while you were driving and stuff like that. And then he'd tell you there and then in the seat you passed. I've been told it's different now. So what do you know about it?
I started doing a couple of tests last year, like a couple of driving lessons, and when you go to do your test, obviously you do the normal driving, but when your driver thinks that you're ready to pass, you have to do a electronic on the computer or handwritten exam, and then you go onto the road and then do it through that. But the questions are really hard. I found doing it the first time round, the questions were too difficult. Although I was learning it and taking it in, I was better driving than I was remembering all the highway code and absolutely everything about the book. They've taken away, I think, the 3-point turn, but they've brought in sat-nav. They'll teach you how to use a sat-nav, and you'll use a sat-nav to get you to directions rather than using signs now.
Right. So it sounds like it's changed a lot, because I was hearing reports that basically, like, I remember from you put it in for your driving test, and I'm talking like the 80s, the late 80s. That's when I passed my driving test in England. That it would take anywhere, unless you got a cancellation, it would take anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks. Now I'm being told that in order to get your written test passed, you have to apply. Then that can take up to 6 weeks to get that done. And then when you get the reply back, I don't know how true this is, and maybe you could tell me. So you apply to take your written test, and then that could take up to 6 weeks for them to get back to you before you can take that. And then once you've done that and your results come back that you passed your written test, it can take another 6 weeks to actually get a hands-on driving test. Is there any truth to that, or?
I'm not sure. I haven't applied for one as yet because I need to go back into doing my lessons. But I have seen and heard from people who have passed, it does take that long. It takes a lot longer than it used to do, and it's not as easy as getting in the car anymore and driving. You have to do all these tests as well as the main one to pass. And it is a lot harder now to pass your test than it was, from what I heard, than it was good years ago.
All right. So are you looking forward to, getting through your test and accomplishing all that and being able to drive on the roads, or would you sooner? I don't know how public transport is now in England. I know around London it's it's a must, so they do have pretty good a pretty good transport system. But like, is that something you're looking forward to doing, driving on British roads?
I walk everywhere, because I don't take public transport, because cabs are sometimes on time, but they're more late than where I am. They're more late than they are on time, and buses can be late as well, so it's not as reliable as it should be, in my opinion. So I'd rather just walk to places or rely on other people, which I don't want to do. That's why I'm looking forward to having having a car and a driving license, a proper one, so I can just drive myself to places.
Yeah, it definitely does give you freedom. Well, I'll tell you this, here in the States, when I first came to live in the States, and I went to take my driving test down in Florida. So you go in, they fill out this information on a computer screen. They ask you to look in and read off these numbers. So it's an eye test, and then you sit down, and within 5 minutes, this guy pops up and says, "Mr. Cox." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "Come on," but you have to take your own car. They don't have a car. You have to use your car. And they say, "Okay," and they direct you where to go, and then tell you, to turn and this, that, and the other. And then they tell you to go back, and then you go back, and they sit you on a computer, and there's like 30 questions, which are multiple choice, and you answer those. And then it tells you that you passed. I think you're allowed to get like 5 or 10 of them wrong or something like that. At least it was in Florida.
It's like you have to get 80, between 75 and 85, I think, to pass. It's quite a high percentage.
Right. Yeah, and there's a lot of questions too, right? I've heard there's like 200 questions or something.
I'm not sure like the numbers, but there is quite a lot. There's a good 50 to 100.
Right.
It does take a long time. So I've got a CD that I use, and it takes a good 2 hours to go through it with all the lessons and the questions on top of it, and it can take me a couple of hours to get through.
Right. Yeah, so over here it's just, I don't know, Florida was easy. Here in North Carolina, apparently it is hard for people to get a driver's license because the way that the questions are worded. But I don't know if it was the time of day that I went or just the fact that, I don't know, but all I had to do was answer some questions to the person about my name and everything, and this, that, and the other. And then they said, look into this thing and tell me what these road signs mean. And I told them, and then that was it. I got my license. So, but some people claim that it's very, very hard to get a license here because the way that the questions that they have you look at, they're worded in a certain way that they can be confusing. So when you go to answer them, there may be something that's in that answer that's correct, but it's not 100% correct. But you could just show up at a place here, and if you've studied everything and you do their tests and you pass it, that's it. You've got a license, and there's no real waiting. There's no lines to get other than waiting in the place. There's no like 6-week wait or whatever. It's crazy, but that's because you've got this tiny little island England, because it is tiny compared to other places in the world, with over 65 million people, you know, living on it. And you know, that's kind of one of the things.
It definitely sounds easier where you are to get a driver's license than it does over here.
It's easy, a lot easier here, yeah, especially now. I mean, yeah. And the thing about it is as well, like, I remember growing up, like, I wanted, my first car was a 1971 Ford Escort that had been, you know, it had like nice things put on it and stuff like that. It was a nice car, but you know, it was like an 1100cc engine, and I mean, the insurance was enough for that. But you try to get something like, you know, something sporty, like, you know, the time people, you know, were riding around in like XR2s and XR3s. I know there's other faster cars right now that you try to get one of those as a you know, an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 21-year-old that just won't insure you. Over here, there's kids, young kids driving around in brand new BMWs, Lexuses. You know, they're 17, 18, you know, because their mom and dad's got some money and they can, you know, afford it. They're running around in these brand new cars, whereas that insurance, you know, they wouldn't be able to have one of those cars because the insurance companies just will not insure people. Like, there's a lot of things over here that's so different to England, and it's a good thing, you know, because like I think that freedom of doing that is, you know, is good. A lot of people are probably thinking there's no way that I would let my kid be, you know, behind the wheel of a high powered sports car like that, you know, at that age. But you know, a car's a car, and a kid can, you know, hurt themselves or kill themselves or kill somebody in any vehicle. It doesn't have to be a high powered sports car.
They'll soon learn if there is an accident. You only do it once, as they say. You sort of learn from your mistakes and just sort of move on.
Well, sorry, what did you say? You broke up a little bit.
And so you only learn from your mistakes. So you only ever do it once, if it was to happen.
Oh, if you kill yourself, yeah, it don't matter. You know, I mean, your life's gone. So, yeah, you just, I think it all comes with the education, just educating people on driving. That's what I think. I'd like to have I noticed that it comes in now and then, Autumn Images. Maybe I should have a conversation, an interview with him sometime if he's up for it. Looks like he knows a lot about, seems to know quite a bit about the driving over there in the UK. I know he's in the UK, Autumn Images. So maybe so I can find out more about, you know, drive-in things. Just trying to think. Is there any more questions for Amy in the chat? If you have any questions for Amy, type at James Cox and let me know what your questions are, so I can ask Amy what, you know, your questions. Do you want to type in the chat too, Amy, so people can get you? Because I know when people are on when people are on phones, they have to use the ellipses at the side of the chat to support people. So if you just type in the chat, "Hello, this is me," something like that, they can support you from that. But all Amy's links to all her social media are in the about section.
Popping that in the chat. There we go. So I've got the chat up on my phone while I've got everything going on the computer, so I'm sort of flickering between both.
There you go. She just typed in the chat. She says, "Hello, everyone. Any questions? And thanks for the support." Can Amy recommend any UK streets food markets?
What, like some Asda, that type of food market?
What?
And what does he mean by food markets? Like, would be like Asda, Aldi?
Are you Gear Vlogs, are you talking about like supermarkets, or you're talking about like specialist food stores? Because I know that London is very multicultural. You know, you've got people from Pakistan, you've got people from India, you've got Chinese, you've got Vietnamese, you've got, you know, there's a lot of stores and restaurants that so are you talking about like specialists, or you're talking about just normal grocery stores like Asda, Tesco, Marks and Spencer, things like that?
I don't normally go into specialist ones, as I live 45 minutes away from London, so I don't know too much about the shops in London. I need to do more research and sort of go into London a little bit more than I do.
Right. What's your favorite food?
I love kebabs and Chinese. I like egg fried rice is my favourite at the moment. If I go to Chinese or anything like that, so duck rolls, duck pancakes, and lamb
So
kebab.
if somebody came to you with a tray of food with plates of food on it, let's say there was four, one had a doner kebab on it, right? As they're called gyros over here, or gyros, but a doner kebab. One was a plate of fish and chips. One was some Chinese food, and the other one was an Indian curry. And they said, you can choose any one of these. You're not paying for it. Which one would you take?
That's quite a hard question because I like a curry and a kebab. So I'd probably go with the curry. Then second would probably be the kebab. But no, if I had to choose one, it'd be the curry.
Yeah. I do like Indian food. I like Chinese food. I do like kebabs, but I've got to say that because I've not been in the UK for a good number of years now, that fish and chips, I'd have to grab that plate of fish and chips. And I keep asking Kara May to do a mukbang of some fish and chips, make a fish and chip video, and I've not got it yet. I've not seen it. I want her to go to the best chippy in her neighborhood where she lives, and I want her to buy some fish and chips, and I want to see what they look like, because you cannot get good fish and chips over here. Rob VR says at James Cox, question for Amy: are you scared of clowns? And if you could choose anywhere in the world to live, where and why?
I'm not scared of clowns, no. But I do have a fear of dolls. Like in horror, I can watch horror films, but anything with dolls in it, I can't do. I don't know why. I just don't like the look of them. If I had to live anywhere, would probably be in Japan. So I like their culture and I like the way they live. My partner lived there for 6 months, and by the sounds of what he was like over there, it sounds absolutely amazing. And I've always wanted to visit and maybe live there, either that or America. I've always wanted to come over to you guys and sort of live in New York or California, that type of area.
Sophie Marty says, Amy, have you tried going to YouTuber events? I am sure there's some in London, maybe.
And I was looking at I think it's called Summer in the City.
Yeah.
I'm looking at going to that when it's on. I think it's in August, so I think I missed that one, so I might have to wait for the next one. I'm looking at going to that one. I'm not sure if there is any others. That's anyone I know of personally, because I know that a friend of mine has been to Summer in the City. So that's definitely one I'm looking at going to.
On Images is talking about bad kebab jokes. Yeah. I'm just trying to see, because the chat just jumped. Wanted to make sure I got those comments. If you have any comments for Amy, just put at James Cox in the chat, and then put whatever your question is for Amy. Let's have a look here. AU Pack Mule says, Why is curry so popular in the UK? You probably don't have that in the in NC. We do. There are some Indian places here, but I don't think it's as popular as England. So he's asking you why do you think that curry is so popular in the UK?
I'm not sure why it's popular person. I think it's really nice. I like the food and the variety, that different curries and different bits like that. Definitely where I live, there's a lot of Indians, like Indian shops and loads of curry places and bits like that. So we've got more of a variety, more shops to go into, like curry wise and Indian wise. I'm not sure exactly why it's so popular. It's just I think it personally tastes nice.
I think I've got a good idea of why it's popular. So, you know, Britain colonized the world once, and it used to, you know, own kind of, you know, Pakistan and India, and then they gave them their independence, and then they said to these people, because some people didn't want England to leave, so they said, okay, well, you have the chance to come and live in the UK. So some people did, and I guess from that, you know, developed shops and restaurants, and also what I found growing up and living in England, when you went out drinking, which seems to be a dying thing in England now because they've stopped people smoking in pubs. I believe you can't even. I don't think you can even smoke outside, can you? I don't know. No, no, true.
But
Huh?
not you can smoke outside, but not in pubs or restaurants or any type of inside apart from your own place.
Right. And so when people get drunk, a place where you could, when food was, you know, sorry, when beer was called off, you know, you couldn't buy any more beer in a pub, then you go to a restaurant, and some of these places would serve beer, so you could get beer with your food, and plus, you know, a lot of English people seem to like spicy, you know, hot stuff. So um, it kind of became a thing, right? That's what
Yeah.
happened, I guess.
I
That's
like
my
spicy
that's
food, I
my
think.
take on it. I think that's what it is. Plus, it wasn't expensive. It was you know, it was inexpensive. I mean, you could go, and after having a good old drink, you go to a restaurant, sit down, and sit there for another couple of hours and carry on drinking and eating, and you know, probably spend, you know, less than £10 and come out there like just that full that you can hardly walk home.
Yeah,
But
you
that's
definitely have
my
to fancy something to eat, and if you've got something out that's quite cheap, it's still serving alcohol or beer or anything like that, any type of alcohol. You sort of flood towards that really.
One image just says, get drunk. What is this? Get drunk. You're on about. If you're from a brewery town, you're constantly drunk from the smell of it being made.
I can see that being a thing, being so drunk that you just can smell it. Definitely if you live near a brewery, like you said.
Are there any more questions for Amy in the chat? Just type at James Cox. Just type at James Cox in your question for Amy. Mommy Shell says, I remember being able to smoke on an airplane. I do too. I remember that. And when my mom first took me to Spain, I think it was like 5 years of age, something like that. 5, 6, 7, somewhere around about that. And I remember that up until being about 10. So we're looking up there to about 1978, where people could smoke on airplanes. I don't know when they. Or Images says, do you miss Marmite? No, I love Marmite, and you can actually buy it here. You can actually buy Marmite here. That's a question for you, Amy. Do you like Marmite?
I do. I'd love to eat it. I can't have it that often because my partner doesn't like it. So
But you
I
do
do
like
like.
Marmite.
I do, yes.
And what is your favorite thing to put it on?
Toast or crumpets.
Yeah,
I like putting on
I
crumpets or toast.
I like it on toast the best. And what about Bovril then, the drink? Do you like that? Because that's kind of the same taste.
I do and I don't. It depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm not well, then I love Bovril. But on its own, I'm not too keen.
Macam Nerd says Marmite is vile. And it's true. You either love it or you hate it. There's no in between. You either like it or you don't. You'll never buy. Yeah, it's made from it's made from beer production. It's a waste. Yep, absolutely. And yeah, I know that. But it's go ahead.
Sorry. It's any product that I know that you either like it or you don't. Some things you sort of have like a midpoint. So that's the only product that's around that you either do or you don't.
Yeah, it's like we got BTD to try it on the live stream. He actually went out. I think it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He got an Uber to a 24-hour, and he did this on a live stream. He did it live to a 24-hour Asda, and got Marmite. Came home, put some bread in the toaster, toasted it, put the Marmite on it, and ate it live on the stream, and almost threw up. He hated it. He hated it. So it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. And Orton Images says Bovril is made in the same factory at James Cox. Okay, awesome. Mummy Shell says, little secret, a new Marmite is coming out. Marmite with peanut butter was sent it to review and was vile. Do you like Marmite by itself, though, Mummy Shell?
It'd be interesting to taste the peanut butter with Marmite. It seems a really strange combination, but again, it's you like it or you don't.
Yeah. Do you like peanut? Do you like peanut butter?
I do, yeah.
I do too. That would be something interesting for me to try, peanut butter and Marmite. Brad, I don't think liked. Mum Michelle says she hates Marmite. Brad didn't like. Did he do peanut butter and jelly? But then he did peanut butter. He did Nutella. He loves Nutella by itself, and he can stand peanut butter, and it can stand peanut butter and Nutella together. That's an interesting sandwich.
Someone trying in some videos doing strange food combinations. I've seen some YouTubers that I follow have done it, and it looks really fun.
So you're gonna do that?
I want to try to, yeah. I need to know from my supporters what they want to see.
Yeah, I think that that's a great thing. You know, asking people, what would you like me to do on my channel? Stuff when it comes recommended. Hey, can you do this? You know, I'd like to see how you would react to, you know, to doing this. I think that's good. It gives you some, you know, creative juices of, you know, if you're up for it. Some people are not. It's like some of these challenges, ice bucket challenge, you know, tagging people. I'm not really up for that. You know, go and do this, and you know, I'm not really up for that. But like, if it's something that, like, have you tried this? Let me know if you're up for trying this. That's okay. That's okay.
So I wasn't up for the ice bucket challenge. I didn't see the point. I didn't want to have the cold water. I wasn't up for that one. But on my Twitter, I'm always on there daily, and I'm asking for like what other people want to see. Although I've got my content, it's nice to have the interaction of what other people want to see.
Yeah.
So I sort of go on there regularly and see if I can get any feedback of what other people would like to see, so I can get a gauge of what people like and what people don't. And also, if it works out really well, then I can make a series of it, like do more than one video of it.
I think that would be great with you doing like food reviews, and maybe you should start the first one, seeing as you like Marmite, would be to do Marmite and peanut butter and see, you know, see what you think about that.
Yeah. So I've got, like I said, I've got my PayPal up for kind donations, because at the moment I can like get all the stuff, but it's obviously costs money, which when I'm only 21, so I don't earn as much as obviously I'd like at this point. So
there you go, guys. If you want to donate like £5 to Amy to do a challenge, you know, here's £5. Go and buy some Marmite and well, you'd have to look it up first. Go and buy some Marmite and some peanut butter, and let's see you do a Marmite peanut butter mukbang video.
yeah,
Let's, you know, you could do that, right? You might want to make a video telling people that that's and put the PayPal link in the about section
yeah,
and say to them, all right, I'm up to doing some silly challenges, whether it's eating food, blah, blah, blah. And if it is eating food or whatever, then if you donate and you put in the message when you donate the PayPal money, after looking at how much it costs. I mean, I don't know how much Marmite is in the UK, and I don't know how much peanut butter is. I'm quite sure you've got some bread in your house, right?
yeah.
So, you know, if they would just send you the money for the peanut butter and the Marmite, which can't be, you know, small jar, huh?
So it's not that expensive. You can also get it in pound. I think you can get it in Poundland as well. So you can
Yes.
get it in Poundland, Farm Foods, Aldi.
Marmite. Orton Images says Marmite mixed with Nutella. That would be interesting.
That'd definitely be an interesting combination. I'd definitely be up for that one. So if there is anybody that wants to donate for the challenges, like comment when you put the donation in what you'd like to, like what the donation's for, like for say like Nutella and Marmite, and go out and buy them. And
Yeah, so that's a great idea. I think we're coming up with a great concept here. So what she's trying to achieve is, so she's gonna hopefully make a video explaining what this is about, and then a link for a PayPal will be underneath. And anything that you PayPal her, make sure, because when you send a PayPal donation, you can type a note, right? You can write a note to the person that you're PayPaling the money to. And so you would type in there, hey, Amy, I would like you to buy, just for example, I would like you to buy some Marmite and some peanut butter. Here's £5. And I would like to see you, you know, mix them together on a sandwich and eat them, right? And then
yeah,
obviously, then she goes out, she does like a vlog of her going, you know, to the store, getting it, and then makes HK, then make a video about that, and then do a live stream. You might want to see her do it live or eating it. So you would put that in there too. So that's great.
then I put all my links like Twitter, PayPal. All my links are usually in all my video, like underneath in the description of all my videos anyway. Sort of have they have all the access to me. I need to put my Facebook in there. I haven't done that yet.
Well, it's in your Facebook, and all your links are down below in here. So come back to this video and just, if you want, just copy and paste them into your thing if you want. It's up to you. Be an easy way for you to do it, or you can just do it yourself. Rob VR says, this is making me hungry. Time for that yucky microwave spag bowl I forgot I cooked earlier. Amy, do you Mommy Shell says, Amy, do you have fibromyalgia?
I don't know, but my mum has. My mum's got fibromyalgia and diabetes and some other things which off the top of my head I can't pronounce. You know, yeah, I thought I'd put out a what is fibromyalgia to make people more aware. There's not a lot of people that know about it, and there's no cure or anything like that. There's pain relief and tablets that you can take to help it, but there's no cure, and there's not a lot of people, like I said, who know about it. So I thought I'd put that up so people can get more aware. I'm hoping to try and do other videos on that for the awareness, and hopefully try and work out a donation thing for it so I can put some money in to donate to help work on a cure and work on more awareness.
Yeah.
So that video was to promote for my mum as well as everybody else who's got it.
Are there any more questions for Amy? Any more questions in the chat? Just type at James Cox and then give me the question so I can ask Amy. Anybody? Do you have anything that you want to say? Because I think we're going to wrap this up now. Oh, wait a minute. Techno Snipe says, Amy, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 21. I'll be 22 in the new year. So my birthday is the 29th of December. So I'm a Christmas baby. Yeah. I'm 21. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for the support that they're giving, and just to thank the community. And this live stream, I've really enjoyed doing. I've sort of relaxed a lot more now than I was. I was quite nervous to start off with because I wasn't sure what to expect or anything like that. But no, I really enjoyed myself and wouldn't mind doing it again.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing a lot more of this. I think this is the way that my channel is going to turn with it, and we're going to be hopefully not today, but next Saturday. Hopefully, we're going to be bringing back it kind of like 5 minutes of fame, but it's going to be 15 minutes of fame, where they're going to be back-to-back 15-minute interviews with people kind of like this, but shorter. So that'll be on a Saturday, and then obviously Thursday and Friday I'll be doing long interviews like this. So to get an interview, guys, go to the IAmACreatorCommunity.com website, sign up, and go to the groups in there. And you're going to find a collaboration group. And in that collaboration group, you're going to find a post of mine. And that is how you get on interviews. And we can set up a interview. So AU Pack Mule says, thank you, Amy and James Cox. Great interview. Thank you, AU Pack Mule. On an image just says, Amy, if you met Robbie Williams, would you hit him?
No, I quite like Robbie Williams. I'm a fan of his stuff.
Why? I don't understand why. Has Robbie Williams said something bad or something?
Not that I'm aware of. I've not seen anything that he's done.
Orton, has Robbie Williams said something bad? I don't understand why you would bring up such a thing in the chat.
What's a random question?
I know one thing about Robbie Williams. I think he was kind of like bullied and was told by teachers at school that he'll never ever make anything of his life. I know that there was a song that he made where he talks. You know, it's in that song. And at the end of the album, it goes quiet for a little bit, and then it's him saying something about, yes, to all you. He mentioned something about these particular school teachers that said something about, like, yeah, you told me I'd never make anything of my life. Well, look at me now, or something like that.
Yeah.
So one images say a few people hate him now since he joined a certain show. What show is that? I'm not familiar. Mommy Michelle says, I love Robbie Williams. Saw him 22 years ago in Take That. And my daughter saw him a couple of months ago at that Taylor Swift concert. So he's with Simon Cowell, apparently. So a lot of people don't like him, I guess, because he's with
He's at Britain's Got Talent or X Factor, I think he's on. I'm not 100% sure, but that might have been the one that he's referring to.
Dap Gaming says, James Cox, my first time on your channel, really enjoyed it. Thank you. We'll be back. Make sure you go and sign up on the IAmACreatorCommunity.com website. There's lots of features there. There's lots of features on the IAmACreatorCommunity.com website, and this is going to help everything with this community. And if you've not hit the notification bell and you've not subscribed to me and Amy and all my guests, Amy's links are in the About section. All her social media links are down there. And if you want to donate, you know, to her for her to do like a mukbang or go out and film something, then feel free. Her PayPal's down there too. Yeah, I remember him with Take That. I wasn't a fan of him really with Take That, but I think that once Robbie Williams went solo, I think it was pretty cool. You know, it was pretty cool. Techno Snipe says, James Cox, you need to add me to the co-host and moderator section on the site. Okay, well, we'll look into that. Yeah. I don't hate anybody that's successful or hangs out with people that are successful. I wish everybody success. What I don't like is people that start trouble, point the finger, and violence and stuff like that ends up being escalated from it. That's what I don't like. And it's not that I necessarily blame them. I blame the people that get involved in creating such actions, because we're all individuals and we all have our own thought process. And when somebody says go and do that, you should turn around and say, no, I'm not doing that, whether you think it's funny or whatever. No, that because it's wrong. It doesn't matter if it's funny.
Obviously, if he wanted to do it as his own person.
Yeah. Like if somebody says go and jump off a cliff, would you do it? No. So why would you go and inflict harm on somebody else? Or why would you go and take, something from somebody else that's not rightfully yours? That's the thing. All right. Anything you want to close with, Amy, before we get off here?
Just to say thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed myself, and I'd happily do it again. So if you want to invite me on here again, I'd happily say yes. And thank you to all my supporters. And I have got a video coming out tomorrow of an unboxing, so that'll be for tomorrow. Thank you, and goodbye.
Well, thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it, and reaching out to me and letting me know that you were up for coming on here. Definitely, we're going to be doing some panel things. One thing that I could suggest to you to get, especially doing this, is maybe some headphones, and they could be just ones that just go in your ears, cheap, like cell phone headphones. If you've got a
today. We're using earphones today.
Yeah, and maybe a cheap microphone. And I know that you can get cheap ones. The one that what's his name? I don't know. Scott Fitcher, if that's how you pronounce his last name, was using that little lapel microphone, that lavalier. They're called lavalier. I think it cost him $5. So getting one of those is going to improve your audio. One thing that is supreme over everything else, and that's what we touched on, me and Scott, in that interview, was your video can be absolute garbage. Right? You could just barely make out what's going on, but providing your audio is great, right? And no disrespect to you, but to me, your audio in this is, it could be better than what it is, and I'm telling you how to improve it for yourself. Get yourself one of those little $5 lavalier microphones. They are not expensive. And if anybody wants to donate to Amy for her to get that, to help her with that, please feel free. Her, what PayPal is. This is just constructive criticism for you.
I don't take offense to anything that people say. Whatever people recommend, it's advice that I can take on board and to help better myself.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to help you improve. I'm finding it a little hard, hearing, because the audio just seems a little bit muffled, with it.
So if I am invited to your panel show or to any other interviews or live streams, I'll definitely get a better microphone.
Yeah.
So you can hear me a lot better next time.
Yeah. Autumn Images is saying they're £3 on eBay.
Okay. So I'll have to have a look when I come off and look into it again. Well, then.
Yeah. If you want to private message through Twitter, Autumn Images, the link to that so that Amy can look at it. Her links to, all her social media are down below. So you can connect with her on Twitter and then just at her, let her know that you're now following her so she can follow you back. And then you could private message her. That's paying it forward. That's, you paying it forward to her, showing her what you just found on eBay for her. I want to thank every single one of you for taking your time out of your day for being here right now. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Amy, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Being my guest here. And I'm looking forward to more of your content, especially, you know, anything that you're mixing food-wise. Just like to see your reaction. Like, oh my God, that's awful. Or that's quite nice, actually. It tastes quite great. I'd love to see you know, peanut butter and Marmite, or even, you know, Marmite and Nutella. That would be very interesting to see that. So if you want to donate to Amy, her link is down below. And again, if you do send her money for her to do something, one of these challenges, don't forget to type in there the note for the PayPal, what it is you wanted to buy with the money, you know, to do. Give her some good instructions there. So with that said, I want to thank you. I'm going to get off here. I do have another interview at 6 o'clock. So that's going to be an hour from now. That is with Lockhead boss lady, Kamisha. She's up at 6. So I greatly appreciate all of you. I know we're a little bit late starting. Sometimes technical things happen. But I want to thank everybody for being here, and I'll see you in an hour. Anything you want to say, Amy?
Thank you very much, and hope you enjoyed this interview, as it's my first one. I might do some more of them, and can't wait to work with everybody with my channel to grow. And I'll be back here at 6 to watch.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. Greatly appreciate you taking your time. Awesome stuff. Remember, hashtag always be amazing, hashtag always be awesome, and always be hashtag I'm a creator. Say goodbye, Amy.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Take